The Nigerian Senate has passed a 2021-2023 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper approving a benchmark of $40 per barrel for the price of crude. This, among other resolutions, was reached on Wednesday after a debate on the report of the Joint Committees on Finance and National Planning on the 2021-2023 MTEF FSP. Our correspondent Atinuke Nuke has more on the story.
Some of the recommendations passed include the production of 1.97 million barrels of crude oil per day, as well as an exchange rate of 379 naira to the dollar. The lawmakers also adopted an expected gross domestic product growth rate of 3%, and inflation rate was pegged at 11.9%.
Of the revenue and expenditure framework upon which the 2021 FGM budget will be predicated is as follows. The daily crude oil production 1.86, the benchmark oil production, the benchmark of price $40 per barrel, the exchange rate 79 naira to a dollar, the growth rate 3.0%, inflation growth rate 11.95%, the FGM retained revenue 7.89 trillion, total FGM proposed expenditure 13.08 trillion, the fiscal deficit of 4.19 trillion, the net borrowing of 4.28 trillion, the statutory transfer 4.84 billion, the debt service the 3.12 trillion, the sinking fund 220.1 billion, the pension gratuity and retiree benefit 520.6 billion, the total FGN expenditure 13.08 trillion, the total recurrent non-debt 5.66 trillion, the personnel cost 3.05 trillion, the capital expenditure 3.58 trillion, the special intervention recurrent 350 billion, and the special intervention capital 20 billion.
In a remark, the President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, urged the Committees on Finance and National Planning to endeavor to meet with government agencies on a quarterly basis to check their performances. He also warned on the need to minimize borrowing so as not to end up using the nation's resources for debt servicing.
There are so many issues that were so obvious during the deliberations. First of all, revenue generation itself. Now that so many more agencies of government have been brought in, I think there is a need for our Committee on Finance particularly to closely monitor the meeting of targets by these agencies. Before the COVID, we had an idea of a quarterly meeting with all the revenue generating agencies of government on a quarterly basis to review where they will be, their performances, to see how close or how they have been able to achieve their targets. Now that COVID is easing, and of course we still have to be careful not to be complacent, I think we should come back with that idea. Borrowing needs to be carefully applied here. There are projects that I feel we should ensure that we don't borrow. We should explore the other opportunities in sourcing of funding, the BOT, the build, operate and transfer, the public-private partnerships, and so many other options. I think we should explore on those so that we minimize the borrowing.
Atinuke Nuke, TV 360.